Good morning, good afternoon, and happy new year to everybody out there. I'm actually live and I'm actually inside the cabin today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. First, let's get the audio out of the way. How's the audio? How's the video? I just realized that my actual Logitech camera's not working, so we're using the camera off the laptop. Let me know what's going on here. I'd love to find out. Be a little bit of a lag and a delay. How was your guys' New Year's? Mine was exciting. As you can see, there's a little bit of fog in the breath, but it's actually pretty warm in here. I've got a couple of heaters going at once. 5x5, awesome. Let me scroll back to the top here, say hello to everybody who was in here super early to say hi. Rebel Canners, glad you can make it. JD from SC, brother, my best to you and Rhonda. I hope your New Year's is fantastic, and I hope it is just much better than any year you've had before. And then I should show this too. I think last week I actually said I was going to go live at 1 o'clock. And for some reason today, when I set this up, I said I'm going live at 11 o'clock. And so I just said forget it and went live at 11 o'clock. Ward was supposed to come over and be live with me. I just sent him a message and said, dude, I think I said 1, but we're going live at 11. So if you're going to come on over now. Hopefully he'll get here. Okay. JD Lone Wolf, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. Housewarming? Not so much. It's still, it's way too early for that still. Leslie Lindsay, good to see you, my friend. Glad you could make it from Eastern Oregon. Destiny, I'm still in the trailer. But right now, I'm in the cabin. And I'll pick the laptop up and kind of move it around a little bit during this live so you guys can see it. Alan, how you doing, my friend? Had your coffee again this morning. This morning it was the Sumatra. Yum, 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 yum. Nanny Goat Acres, 70 degrees. In far northeast Texas today, it was 33 degrees when I woke up this morning. We were above freezing. Crazy, crazy warm weather. Canadian, good to see you, my friend. Ed Case, happy New Year to you as well. Built on the Rock Homestead, good to see you, my friend. Scrappy Cat, happy New Year. Sunshine, what a nice break in the weather we're having, isn't it? Sunshine actually lives over in Kenai. This is awesome. I'm loving the temperatures. For the next couple of weeks, I'm not seeing anything below zero, and I'm extremely happy with that. The Daily Prepper, there's a neighbor in Willow, Alaska. Thank you, man. Thank you. I'm glad you're following along, and I'm glad you like where things are going with the cabin. If it looks like water's dripping on me, which it kind of is right here, I might actually move the scaffolding out. I brought all the scaffolding in yesterday so I can start hanging insulation in the ceiling. And I'm going to need the scaffolding to get up above this part, above the loft part. I can use a ladder in the loft. But there was some snow and ice on it. And it seems to be melting since I started warming everything up in here. Original 6, glad you can make it. Happy New Year's to you, Terry Burns. Glad you can pop in from Kentucky. Awesome. It's my cousin Greg, and this guy does some amazing, amazing stuff, and he needs to start his own YouTube channel. I'm going with propane heat. Why not wood stove? I am going with a wood stove. Eventually, the plan is I'm going to have a wood stove. I'm going to have it right over there. But I'm going to use propane heat for backup, and I'm going to do that because I'm gone from the house 10 to 12 hours a day, and I want the house to stay warm in the winter. So I'll have propane heat backup. I'll have a wood stove for my primary when I'm home, but a bit of both as far as that goes. But the propane heat that I'm going to use in the cabin is going to be a whole lot different than the propane heat I've been using in the trailer. So right now I'm using buddy heaters. I'll use an actual vented propane heating system. Lone Wolf, 5x5. Okay, I'm almost caught up to where I started. Built on the Rock, Leslie Lindsay, Zombie Possum, awesome. I love that name. Man, I'm glad you're loving the content. Thank you very much. You can turn it up on your end. Okay, good, Jerry. Christine, Happy New Year to you. Glad you could make it. Richard Young, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Glad you could make it. Patty, Happy New Year to you and Mac. Hope you guys had a wonderful, wonderful day, wonderful evening last night. I hope you did what I did, which is basically nothing. Just laid around, and I was in bed by 9 o'clock last night. It was awesome. Doing redneck things. Tony Leanne, good to see you guys as well. John Brown, Happy New Year. You're up to 70 today. Nancy Church, Happy New Year from St. Louis. Very cool. Greg Tokley, Happy New Year to you as well. LaRue, Happy New Year from Iowa. Oh, we've got people from all over today. Crazy Bird Farm and Gardens. Happy New Year. Super warm in northern Vermont too, right? I'll take it. I'll take the warm weather. Scrappy Cat's telling me that Sacramento was crazy last night. Really bad storm with 55. You know what? I've seen videos. So originally I'm from Tuolumne County, California, which is just in the mountains north of Yosemite. And I've seen videos all over Facebook today of every creek up there just over the banks. You guys got a ton of rain, a ton of rain. Brad's asking if I've purchased the stove. No, I haven't, and that's why I don't have a wood stove in here right now. I'm looking for something pretty specific. It needs to be small enough to not cook me out of the cabin, and most of the stuff that I'm finding right now is for 1,800 square feet or bigger, but most importantly, I need to have a glass door. And the reason why I need to have a glass door is because I want to sit and see the flames. So I haven't found one yet, but I'm looking actively. If I don't get one this winter, it's not the end of the world, and if I have to buy one new, I'll do that as well. Wendy Benjamin, good to see you. Loving the warm weather in Nova Scotia as well. Right on, huh? You know, I'm seeing, Daily Prepper, I'm seeing more and more about those Chinese diesel heaters. My neighbor actually has a couple of them. So we're going to probably see if we can't get one of them working. Todd, the one who helped me with the rafters, and I'll play around with it in here and see what it does. Honestly, at this point, the only reason it's really decently warm in here at all is because I've got the tank heater going here. I'll lift this up a bit. Let's see if we can do this. Okay, so I've got the tank heater in the background here going, and then I've got the big buddy heater on the floor going right there. There's a quick peek of inside the cabin, and as you see, there's insulation upstairs. But I'm really reading up on those Chinese diesel heaters, and I'm really liking what I see on them. They don't use a whole lot of power either, which is super awesome. Whiskey Harbor, live from the cabin, right? Yeah. You knew I had to do this. I was out here this morning drilling holes in the wall. So I could run my power line through a wall over there. And we're going to discuss a little bit about electrical in the cabin because, man, I had a lot of comments. Let me fix this cord underneath here. I had a lot of comments about electrical in my cabin when I was insulating, and I want to clear some stuff up for some folks. But where I drilled the hole in the wall over there is where the staircase is going to be. And there's going to be an external plug there anyway because the generator will be housed outside there. I'll build a standing unit for the generator outside so that when I'm not getting enough solar panel or enough solar power, it'll go ahead and it'll charge up. I could fire off my generator from inside, and it'll go ahead and top everything off because under the staircase is going to be all my power. It's going to all be right there. Bird Dog, Happy New Year. Glad you can make it. Good to see you. Northern Minnesota. Nice. Nice. Everybody's saying Happy New Year. Ward's coming from Kenai. Cool, dude. Get here. You guys can meet Ward in person. We'll put a filter on him. I might have to gag him, but. Alan says, Sean, the guy from Surviving Ringworm just installed a propane heater like the one you're talking about. If you want to see someone else do it first, I will. I'll take a peek at it. But I'm looking, honestly, I was thinking I would do one of the old Williams ones that mount between the 2x6 or by the 16-inch on center walls. And I might take it and put it over by the pantry so that it's actually heating out this way, and it'll keep the loft and the bathroom and everything warm too. It's not a 911 right now for that. There's a chat I go to. There's a dude with a screen named Jeff Goldblum selling farts. Oh my gosh. Rakan Montana, Happy New Year's to you as well from Montana, from Alaska. Nancy Church, Happy New Year, 65 degrees for you. Oliver Jackson, Happy New Year's from San Antonio, Texas. Thank you very much, Oliver. This is awesome when I actually see folks in here that always comment on the videos and are always right there. Very, very cool. Greg Tokley, -3C in Belleville, Ontario, Canada, +8C in rain yesterday. You know, it's been a weird winter. We had really, really bitter cold temperatures a few weeks ago, and then things have really started warming up. So I'm not really going to complain. If January wants to be above zero, I'll be okay with that. Dan Lemon, how are you? From Pennsylvania. Happy New Year's to you as well. Cap Bell, Happy New Year's to you as well. Kristen Grounds, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's to Steve as well. Tell Steve I said hi. Lone Wolf, have I thought about putting in a wind turbine to offset the solar? I have, and if I was near Kenai or anywhere near the coast, I would. I don't get enough consistent wind here to make that really worthwhile or feasible. I might play around with it down the road, but we could go for weeks without having a breeze here. So I don't really see how financially that would be a good deal, but I might do a small one just to play with it down the road. Ward's on K Beach. I guess we're going to get a message every time Ward passes something. Happy New Year, brother. How you doing, Patrick? Good to see you, my friend. I wiring in a light switch on the front door? No. Okay, so let's talk about this right now, and we'll pause this up there. So I've had quite a few people in the last video that said, "Oh my gosh, you need to wire all those before you insulate them." Here's what happened. I was talking with Ward, I was talking with Todd, and we were looking at everything they needed to lay out, and they were suggesting, yeah, you'll probably want to plug here, switch there. And then they left and went home, and I got to thinking about it. And for 10 years, the last 10 years of my life, I have not had a light switch inside my door for outside. I don't need one. And then I got to thinking about how much power that I've had to use over the last 3 years. And I am off grid. For anybody who doesn't know, the only power I have is my one single solar panel. I actually have a second one now sitting over here that I'm going to go ahead and hook up as we get into better sunshine, and the generator for backup. And I run everything off of one single 12-volt deep cycle marine battery. I have almost no power requirements at all. They're so minimal and so limited, it's ridiculous. So I'm not going to wire a whole lot up. So there'll be no switches or wires or anything on this wall. There'll be none on the wall behind me going all the way back through to the kitchen. There'll be no wiring on an external wall whatsoever. Where there will be wiring is for those of you that are new and may not know what the floor plan is. So I'm going to have my kitchen right here, and I'll spin this around. As a matter of fact, let me hold this up. Sorry for the shakiness, but this will give you a better visualization, okay? All right. So behind that ladder there, that's going to be the kitchen. And pretty much in the middle right there is going to be the pantry. And pretty much this side over here is going to be the restroom, right? And then that's also going to be the side that has a staircase coming down to get in the loft. So the underneath the staircase, as I said earlier, will be all my power for the cabin. So I will have, some pretty decent power supply and pretty decent power storage here. But all of it will be there. I'll run the wiring that I need for the bathroom and a light in the pantry, and then an electrical wall in the kitchen, which will be the pantry kitchen wall. Those will be the only walls in the house, in the entire cabin, that have power. I only need that power for charging up the minor electronic stuff that I have. There will be an outlet on the staircase wall, because that will allow me to plug in stuff so that when I'm editing video and that kind of stuff, I can plug it all in right there. Because I'm planning on building bookshelves kind of underneath the staircase, and you'll see what it looks like when it's done. But I don't need as much power as I originally thought I was going to need. So I'm not going to get too carried away with electrical. There'll be no light switch. There will be a light outside, but it'll be a motion sensor light. Remember that for, say, 70% of the year, maybe 60% of the year, I don't need a light at all outside. So it's that other 40% where I do, in fact, need a light, but I haven't had to use one in 3 years. So, and I mean, 10 years, actually. So other than a motion light outside in the front, I don't think I'll have a light out there. Scotty's Backyard Barbecue. Glad you could make it, Scotty. Happy New Year to you, brother. Bernice, Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you very much. Paul Arnold, from Southern India. Very cool. Very cool. Love watching you build progress. Happy New Year and God bless. Thank you, Paul. Happy New Year to you as well. That is awesome. I think you might be the furthest away viewer from me that I've seen so far in a live chat. Super cool. Can't wait to see you get the cabin finished. You're doing an awesome job. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I can't wait to see it finished either, but I should probably give you guys a heads up too on this. So the winter will be spent working on this thing, and I will be moved in here. I could probably move in here in a month from right now, just seeing how long it's taken me to get everything done. And the reason why I haven't really pushed it is because I want to do it right. I want to make sure I have everything sealed properly when I'm done. But when spring and summer comes, I'm not going to do the same thing I did last year and spend my entire May through the next May doing nothing but working on the cabin. I need to get out and see more of Alaska. Man, I miss it. I missed a whole bunch of doing stuff in Alaska last year. I didn't fish once, so there'll be quite a bit of that going on as well. The garden, obviously, is one of my projects that I want to get going this next year because I spent some time getting that cleaned up. I do need to rent some more equipment, get it cleaned up a little bit more before I actually put it in, but I can put the fencing in and stuff or get the posts ready before then. But it'll be a busy year, but I want to actually spend time to enjoy Alaska too. Can't wait to see you get the camp finished. Oh, thank you. Already saw that one. Right? Camp Bell, it's awesome. It's awesome to do this from inside. This is very cool to be able to do it from inside the cabin today. Super excited about that. The solar powered outdoor light. That's where I'm going to go, Jerry. Is the solar powered outdoor lights. And again, it's basically just so I can get from the vehicle inside the cabin. So I still like kerosene lamps, guys. I'm living off a grid because I want to be off grid. And while I could spend a ton of money, I'm sure, and bring this up so I can have a microwave and everything else, I realized I don't need that in my life. And it's pretty awesome to realize you don't have to have all those bells and whistles. Kathy from North Star Prepstetter, Happy New Year to you as well. Glad you could make it. Oil lamps, exactly, Renice, right? I just talked about that. Chris and Christy, it's amazing how much power you don't actually need. And, when you find out how much you don't actually need, you shake your head and say, why did I use so much of it? To be fair, though, I'm not in Texas where I'd have air conditioning going 24/7. So, there are places in the country where electricity is something you would really want to have. But here in Alaska, I can heat without it. Eventually, I will have a well and I will have running water here in the cabin. And at that point, I'll look at upgrading my system. But I still won't need any outlets over here. When I'm in my living room and I'm relaxing in the evening, I don't need to turn the TV on. Scotty, how am I getting up and down that ladder to the loft? I'm in pretty good shape, Scotty. I'm not like you, brother. I don't eat barbecue for every meal, Scotty. Don't take the wood stove ratings as religion. Get one for double the square footage. Big difference between warming up and maintaining. Awesome. Thank you, Old Country. I appreciate that. And thank you for your comment at the end then. So for those that aren't aware, it's 20 by 24, which is roughly 480 square feet. So I'm looking at probably a stove to heat 1,000 square feet. And if I keep that damp down, it would probably be more than enough. And that's good information. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think what Sean is saying is he just wants a good roof over his head and a little comfort. That's pretty much it, my friend. Grace Lomas, I'm glad you made it, Grace. Happy New Year to you, my friend. Happy New Year to you. Secret New Meta. Happy New Year's from the Philippines. Awesome. Me and my wife are going to relocate to Fairbanks this coming summer. You're in for a culture shock next winter. Going from the tropics to the near Arctic. Hope it won't be too jarring. Fairbanks is actually considered Arctic desert climate. So during the summer, keep yourself hydrated or you will. The first and worst case of dehydration I ever received in my life was living in Fairbanks, Alaska. And then during the winter, it's cold. It's cold. They've had temperatures already this year of minus 50, minus 57 degrees Fahrenheit, and that's without a wind chill. That's ambient air temperature, but you'll love it. It's beautiful. The interior is gorgeous. It will be a bit of a shock, though. You're coming from the Philippines to there. It'll be a bit of a shock. Kind of scrolling over if I don't see a question. And if you ask a question and I've scrolled past it and you see that I skipped your question, do me a favor, ask it again. Maybe throw it in caps. I try to answer every question and I will not intentionally skip over anybody's question. Everybody chatting, saying hi to each other. Oh, I missed this completely. Camp Bell Off Grid with a $20 oil lamp fund. Thank you, my friend. Very, very awesome. I appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. And a Ward update, he has reached Funny River Road. Right? Knowing need versus want is they're two different things. I need heat in the winter. I want a beautiful, super toasty, warm wood stove. Totally different. But I do need the wood stove, but I can heat without it, but I really, really want the wood stove. Think about people in the 1800s that barely had anything to survive. The 1700s, the 1600s. The quality of life was not there, and I do want a quality of life still. But yeah, I mean, we take a lot of stuff for granted, or I took a lot of stuff for granted for many, many years. I had all the bells and whistles, and having none of them now is pretty awesome as well. Matt, AK, happy New Year to you, my friend, at all. And here was that super chat from Camp Bell. You are awesome, guys. Thank you very much. Alan, will I need to screen in part of my front porch so I can sit outside during skeeter season? Not, it's kind of weird. Since I got the chickens, the mosquitoes have dropped off drastically. Now, I expect with the garden that they'll probably pick back up again because every time you disturb the earth here, you disturb the mosquitoes underneath and they kind of go crazy. But I don't have the problem with the mosquitoes here that I had in Fairbanks. So I can sit out on my porch and you know, I sit outside every single night anyway when the weather's nice with the campfire going and it's not a big issue. So I'll still be doing that, but I have screens on the windows so that I can open them up and hopefully keep most of the bugs out that way. Carol, Happy New Year to you as well. Brother Will, a kiss for me. Talk to you later. Right on, brother. I will, Patrick. Good to see you and a Happy New Year to you, my friend. I've known Patrick forever. Uh, Scrolling through. Matt AK, my family was always surprised when they'd ask how the weather was in Fairbanks when I lived there, and I tell them, oh, it's in the 90s. Yeah, because the summers can be ridiculously, ridiculously hot. And they have some pretty epic thunderstorms up there as well. Holy smokes, I'm almost caught up. Very cool. Happy New Year to Mark Campbell from Carroll. Ray Martinez, I told by the law you need to have 2 heating sources in Alaska. Never heard that before in my life. There's a lot of stuff that people hear that well, it could be law. I've never heard that before, and I've been here this time around for 10 years now. So you know, people do kind of whatever they want in Alaska, and you know, even if there's laws, sometimes people ignore those laws as well. I wonder if maybe I should turn this camera a little bit that way. Ugh. Still not going to stop the glare off my white beard, is it? Happy New Year, Genova. Good to see you. Very good to have you here. Where am I in relation to Wasilla, Alaska? So, Wasilla Palmer. So, if you look at a map of Alaska and you look at the Cook Inlet coming up inside, as you get up towards the top of the Cook Inlet, that's Anchorage, and Wasilla is kind of over this way from Anchorage, right to the left of it. But the big landmass that you're going around on the right side of the Cook Inlet is the Kenai Peninsula, and that's where I'm at. I'm on the Kenai Peninsula. So for me to drive to Wasilla, it's about 3.5 to 4 hours from where I'm at. You power your camp with a treadmill? That is awesome. I love it. I love it. Oh, I missed this one here. Blaze King, expensive wood stove. Blaze Kings are beautiful. They're beautiful. And I can get one of those up here tomorrow. But they're, oh my gosh, they're tanks. And they would cook me out of this little cabin. I'm sure they would. Midwest, Happy New Year to you as well. Glad you could make it in today. We don't need no badges. We don't need no stinking badges. What is my indoor temperature right now? Approximately, probably about 30, probably about 38 right now. That's kind of why I'm lightly dressed. So I've just got the light fleece on and a black thermal and a t-shirt on. I was in here with double hoodies earlier that I usually wear when I'm out here working in the cabin, and I was starting to work up a sweat with the beanie, so I got rid of that as well. But probably about 30, I'd say 38. It's not 40 degrees because my breath is still steaming. Burr. It's not really chilly. You know, when you get used to cold temperatures, you get used to cold temperatures. Scotty, did I get a wood stove yet? No, not yet, Scotty. Still looking. Again, you know, I have other priorities that I have to spend money on first anyway. So it's not a super hurry to get that in here. I'm quite a ways away construction wise from. Oh, yes. The roof just shed. There was about 2 feet of snow on the top of this side of the roof, and it just all shed. Woo! So yeah, no wood stove yet. Scotty has 34 degrees in Wisconsin. Might fly up to see Leanne's brother in June. Love to come visit when they're in Wasilla. If you get down to the Kenai Peninsula, tell them you want to come down here because this is where the fishing's at anyway, right? And it's beautiful. You want to come down and see Homer. Homer's a gorgeous town. But if you guys get down this way, shoot me off a message, and definitely we'll get together. I'd love to meet you guys. Love to hang out for a bit. It would be a ton of fun. Okay, Matt, it's about the same temperature there. Very cool. My outside temperature is probably 35 right now. So I imagine the loft temperature is much higher. It's just dripping all over from this scaffolding, just because it's up top there. Where was I at? Yep, got a good warm stove. Yep, to heat the whole cabin, exactly. Vermont castings are beautiful stoves, and I've made offers on a couple of them because I would love a Vermont casting stove. They are absolutely gorgeous. Kathy got that. Yeah, that was crazy, right? That was the first snow shed ever off the roof of the cabin, and you guys were here with me for it. That was super, super awesome. Super awesome. You know, Daily Pepper, I've heard that. Although, like I said, if I was in Kenai where I had that constant wind every day, I think it might be worthwhile to do something there, but not here. No way here. Talking about the snow shed here, right? Still, right? That was cool. That was very cool. I love that, man. I couldn't have timed that any better. That was incredible. Snow shedding off the roof would be interesting to wake up to. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to that and the sound of pounding rain on my metal roof. Because you that's right. That's the first time I've ever heard it in this place. I'm very fired up over it. Yeah, you guys had some interesting weather. You guys had some very interesting weather. Turned it went from right from 35 below. When I lived in Fairbanks, we'd be 40 below zero for a couple of weeks, and then the temperature would jump up to 10 below zero, and we'd all be wearing short pants and light shirts because your body just gets acclimated to that. It's crazy. Well, that goes to tell me that my plan on the roof worked, right, Jerry? I mean, because for those that you don't know, I don't actually have a roof on here yet. I just have the sheathing on it, and I covered it with a really big tarp. And my thought was that the snow would slide off of that tarp with no problem at all once it decided to shed, and obviously it did. Happy New Year's from New Zealand, Kiwi lad. Very awesome. Happy New Year's to you as well. Have I ever encountered bear in my yard or in my neighborhood? No. Do we have them? Yes. But have I seen them on my property? No. I have seen, when I was first walking this piece of property, I did find bear scat, and that's bear poop. But I've never actually seen a bear on my property. I'm pretty lucky. I'm close enough to the river to where if they're coming through my property anywhere near my property, they're headed to the river for fish. So yeah, that was pretty awesome. That was pretty awesome. Should have definitely heard what that sounded like on our end. I'm going to go back and watch this for sure, and I might actually download it and edit some of that for a future video. But I definitely want to hear that. That is super super cool. Trail Camp Pete, Happy New Year's to you too, my friend. Very awesome. I completely agree. The sound of rain on a metal roof. You could have the most stressed day you have had in your entire life. And when you're sitting in your house and you hear that pounding rain on your roof, it's the same thing as sitting on a beach and hearing the surf break on the shore. Just centers you completely. Very awesome. Kiwi lad, any moose all the time. Yeah, I have moose on the property all the time. They're always walking up my driveway. I have a short video if you look back, I think it's called Close Encounter of the Moose Kind, where I'm working on the generator shack and I don't realize it, and I look up and there is a moose standing right there. And it was, I think, my first winter that I was on the property. So if you have not done so and you want to see something that was pretty cool and pretty close, and you get a chance to see how big they really are, moose was right there. Super super neat. Tina Bailey, Happy New Year to you as well. It did. It had little bells in it, and it smelled like pepper spray. Yeah, I do not in any way, shape, or form envy anybody who has to shovel a roof. Um, that's just way too much hassle. Way too much hassle. Hey, Kiwi lad, to be honest with you, I probably see 10 moose a day with my when I'm going back and forth to work. So from my front door at the cabin to the front door of where I work in town is 16 miles, and 15 miles of that is Funny River Road, basically, and it's out in the wilderness. So um, when I'm driving into town every single day, I see moose. Matter of fact, there was another short that I did. I'm doing shorts like on Monday and Wednesday just to give you guys little updates of what's going on and little tidbits of life here. And then the long video on Friday. And so in the last week or two, I did one where I was passing some moose on the road in the morning. Thank you, Peter. I appreciate that. The thumbs up does make YouTube go, hey, people like this. Let's suggest it to other people. So it does help big time. Kathy, sound like major static at first because I was looking up. I knew what was happening. Why did it sound like a car ran into my house? Oh my gosh, awesome. Chris Justman, welcome to the live chat. Will I need a ceiling fan? Will all the heat go up to my high ceiling? Yes and yes. So, I mean, heat, like anything else, right, rises. So my plan is in the very, very center of this living area here, I'll put a ceiling fan in it, but I can do that off of a 12-volt system. So that'll be pretty easy to do. Eves, Happy New Year to you. Glad you can make it. Will I hunt to put meat in my freezer? I might eventually. I have done it in the past. I have nothing against it whatsoever. But I'm a single person, and for me to harvest a moose, I wouldn't need meat for 3 years, and I can't justify that. I work at a grocery store; I can buy meat, but I would love to go caribou hunting because I love caribou, and that's a deer-sized animal that would be awesome, even if I went with somebody else and we just split the meat. So I would love to do it again in the future. No plans to do it right away, but I probably will again. Yeah, you see moose every morning too. It's very cool. A pound of right. So my cabin is made with tin roof, and it sounds so awesome and peaceful. You do. You really sleep well. Where was I at here? Surprisingly enough, I occasionally see wild turkeys here too. A local guy buys them, raises them, and sets them free. And a couple of years ago, I saw some big birds with some small birds, which was crazy. So they're actually breeding on their own, which is nuts. I could share with the locals, and I'm sure that if I happen to go over to the morning coffee that they do not far from my place here at one of the locals' houses, I could say, hey, anybody got any moose? And I would have more moose than I could eat that afternoon. They'd hook me up. But I'm trying to do as much as I can for myself. And then with whatever I have left over, I definitely wouldn't mind helping somebody else out. Michael Cox, Happy New Year to you, brother. Good to see you, my friend. I hope all is well, and I hope your year is fantastic this year. If I miss saying hello to you, yell at me because I'm trying to scroll through here and keep it going at the same time. Tiob, Happy New Year's to you, my friend. Positive vibrations for the new year from Humboldt County. Awesome. Awesome. Glad you do, my friend. My daughter actually lives in right outside of Chico. She lives in Oroville, my youngest daughter. So very familiar with your area. Fish is my big thing to harvest, Scotty. That's my big thing. And I want to get more into preserving and canning this year on the channel. I've done quite a bit of it in my own personal life anyway, but I want to get more into it in my own personal life and on the channel, including smoking fish and everything. So I do plan on building a smokehouse this year. So what's the history of Funny River? Is it the bubbling stream or is it Pusa Strange Things in Minnesota? Oh no, I don't know what it is, Kathy. I don't know where it came from. More than likely it was just somebody walking out here and said, huh, look at that, funny, there's a river. I don't know. Ward has made it to the golf course. He could be here in about 5 minutes then if he's at the golf course. Very cool. I see a weasel named Dave often. He's a nosy neighbor. We have shrews here, and I name every shrew that I've ever seen up in Alaska Steve. And Steve's always hanging out, which is super cool. Keeping an eye on some land for sale that's south of that private airstrip in Funny River. I actually live pretty close to that the private airstrip in Funny River. There's a few of them, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about, but if the one I'm thinking about, it's pretty close. I'll tell you the same thing I tell everybody that's looking for land in Alaska. You want to see that land in the spring as the snow is melting, and you want to see that land in the winter as far as being able to get in and out of your property before you buy anything. It's a big deal because what can look like absolutely perfectly dry land in the summer can be nothing but marsh 3 to 4 months out of the year, and it's tough to build on that stuff. It's real tough to build on that stuff. Right? Smokehouse is awesome. I can smoke my own hams. I can smoke bacon. I can make kielbasa and hang it. I can watch more of Scotty's backyard barbecue videos to teach me how. If you guys are into that stuff, Scotty, share your link too, brother, because he does some really, really neat barbecue stuff. Patty, thank you guys for hanging out. My best to you and Mac in this new year, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. We do have a nice golf course right down the road, but I haven't played golf in years, and I have no intention of getting back into it again. Well, right on, Matt. When you get up here, definitely send me a message, and we'll get together and do lunch or something. That'd be a ton of fun. It does. It does. But surprisingly enough, I have had almost zero shifts in this cabin this entire winter. And that ground froze pretty solid, and we had some heaves before the ground had a chance to freeze. But if I throw a level on the windows, like when you saw the video where I was putting the windows in and we were doing the Tyvek, which was actually like 2 or 3 separate days of doing different stuff. I dropped the level on both of these windowsills, and they're completely level right now still. Great. Okay, there's Scotty's. There's a link to Scotty's Backyard Barbecue from Kathy at North Star Prep Center. Kathy, put your link in there as well, because your Monday lives are still super awesome and super informational. And I do sneak in on occasion when I can watch it, and I just haven't been chatting much lately, but I do sneak in lately. And then again, Scotty shared his link. Anything you want to know about grilling or smoking or barbecuing, making sausage. Scotty made the world's biggest hot dog, I think. Or it could have been very close to the world's biggest hot dog. Good, Kathy shared your channel. Very cool. We got that. Oh, very cool. Thank you, thank you, Campbell. What are my plans for the floors? Wood, except for probably the kitchen and the bathroom. More than likely, as far as the kitchen and the bathroom go, I'll do something, probably linoleum or tile in the kitchen. Maybe the same thing in the bathroom as well. I want something that I can clean up really easily. So in the kitchen, definitely probably tile. And then the main part of the main living part of the house will be wood, but the loft will probably end up being probably carpet up in the loft, because it's nice to wake up and put your feet on some carpet, right? Alan says, a friend of mine made an awesome smoker out of an old Weber Smoky Joe 14-inch grill, some aluminum dryer duct, and an old refrigerator. Very cool. Nice. There's a ton of plans out there for making smokers. A ton of plans out there for doing different stuff with that. I don't know how long we're going to go today. Normally I go an hour, but we'll hang out a little bit longer if you guys got more questions. But I probably won't go the 2 hours like I did last week with on Christmas Day. I do the lives on Christmas Day mainly because I'm by myself and I know other people are by themselves, or their kids are all gone or grown up, and you know, they're sitting at home, and it's just kind of a get together chat to hang out with each other. But I'll hang out today as long as you guys still have stuff that you want to ask, questions you want to go with. Speaking of which, anybody got any other questions for me? Feel free to just drop them in the chat. And if I have missed your question, it wasn't intentional, go ahead and ask it again. You can ask it 3 or 4 times. It doesn't matter to me. If I've seen it already, I'll just and answered it. I'll just skip over it. Aha! Ward has pulled up. I got to clean these windows. They are terrible. Yes, the floor will be insulated, but I'm not going to do that until the spring, and that's because I don't feel like climbing underneath the cold house and hanging that insulation. So I'm living in a trailer without an insulated floor. I can live in a cabin without an insulated floor for a bit, so it shouldn't be that bad at all to get the insulation put in the spring. Yes, I am. Well, hang on, Ward's bouncing over here. Ward! God!
Oh. Can't get in there.
No, you can't get in.
I had to slow down for a cow and a calf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You had to slow down for a cow and a calf moose. For those that are new to the channel, this is my buddy Ward. He's kind of been.
Hey guys.
Let me pull this down a little bit. I kind of gave him the baby chair. This is whenever I have a question construction wise, Ward does that for a living. He's the one who gives me all the answers that I need to hopefully get me onto the next stage.
This is for you, Art.
Oh. Right, here we go. flying through here. Sean, thank you very much, man. Greatly appreciated. So what I do, I see all the comments over here on the side.
Right.
And then if I click on one, it highlights it over there. And,
nice.
and I leave it there till I get to the next one. When I plan to have it fully insulated and vapor barrier done, not counting the floors, maybe 2 weeks from now. I don't know how long it's going to take me to do the ceiling. And that's pretty much me doing it by myself. But I have the vapor barrier right now, and I have most of the insulation on hand, at least enough to get me started. So hopefully within 2 weeks. And that is something I always have to do too. the outhouse. It's surgery for detached retina last Wednesday and Thursday. Well, right on, Alan. I'm glad that things worked out good. That's a pretty serious thing, man. Pretty serious thing. The airstrip is labeled Rotor Airport on Google Maps, where the river makes a big north-south turn. There's a couple lots for sale in the neighborhood directly south of it. Is it right next to the river map? I mean, really close to the river? Because if it is, I know which one it is. JD.
Is that is that off of Chinook?
I don't know. He just, tell me the street that it's off of so that I know. And then I can tell you whether or not it's close or what.
Because there's 2 airstrips over there.
Kathy. Norm!
Norm. Right.
Scotty with award. Sherry. Thank you very much, and Happy New Year's to you from Funny River, Alaska. How's the driver tips holding up? Need more saw blades? I just put together another care package. Dude, I definitely appreciate it. Right now, all the tips are holding up great. The saw blades are fine because the only time I ever use the Sawzall is when Ward lets me use it, and he said I can't use it anymore because I don't know what I'm doing.
You got that right.
The driver tips will get a big workout when I put the metal roof on next year. Or this year now, I guess, right? Yeah. So when I put the metal roof on, they're going to get a big workout. But until then, they're brand new still. Rudy says hello to you. Camp Bell says hello to you.
Hello.
Jerry says hello. Built on the Rock says hello.
Hey, guys.
Ward becomes one with the beer.
I do.
He has the shirt that says, I wonder if beer misses me too. Can't wait to start building our cabin this summer in Talkeetna. Talkeetna is freaking beautiful, man. Sean, I'm jealous.
I haven't been up there in years.
It is I love that little town. It is so cool. What kind of deck and what size of deck am I going to be putting on if I'm going to be building on? So the 3 beams that are the main part of the foundation for the cabin extend out over the front, and there will be a big porch / deck out there. And I'm just going to frame it in. It'll just have it'll probably have 2x6 boards on top of it. I would eventually like to put a deck over here on the side, but I also want to kick a bedroom off to the side, neither of which will probably happen this year. To be honest with you, I'd rather do more groundwork, kind of, clean some areas up back in the trees, open it up a little bit, build some little picnic areas, and eventually do a little outdoor kitchen. More importantly than having a whole lot of deck space. The front deck will be more than enough for me.
And a garden.
Yeah, the garden for sure. Kathy, move the camera down a bit, please.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now you can actually see Ward.
Hey!
Alan, I haven't. I have to go in there and look at it. I'm terrible about that wish list. Alan was awesome and sent me some coffee, sent me a bag of Sumatra off my wish list.
I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
And then the bag of chocolate raspberry beans, just delicious.
Awesome.
Yum. Renice, we love you, Ward. Oh, yeah. Goodyear Chinook. Yep. Okay. So
that's it. Yeah.
That is literally the airport right over there. So when you hear all the planes flying like over here, a lot of them are landing and taking off over there. Feels like makeup that can make things prettier. Beer goggles. Derek Marcellus, Happy New Year from northern New York, Adirondack Mountains. Very cool, my friend.
Nice.
You get chilly there too. You get some cold weather there as well.
You get a lot of snow.
Yeah, they do. Brother Will was a 10th Mountain Ranger, and they were based, I think, in that part of New York, upstate New York. Ward shares many things. Ward shares his knowledge. Ward shares his time. Ward shares his help. Ward does not share beer.
Well, I do.
He does, but I'm not. I don't know.
If you want me to work for you, you got to buy a 12-pack.
Yeah. on the list to look at. There's a ton of land for sale in Funny River. Funny River has a lot of land for sale. Never offer the asking price though. Honestly, you can get most of the land out here much cheaper than it's listed for. They do. I moved to North Carolina from the Adirondacks, Alan says. He misses things about that area, right? Yep, that's exactly where he was at. Fort Drum, New York. That's where Brother Will was hanging out. You missed it.
What?
I'm sitting in here. I'm on a live chat. I have to look at what the roof looks like. The snow.
I heard it.
Yeah.
I was watching it when it went.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. Very cool. Very cool.
I was watching it all the way up Funny River. All the way from.
Oh, were you? Very cool. Ward drinks Coronas. That's his beer of choice. Renee says we had oil lamps, small entry in bedrooms growing up. Oil lamps are awesome, and the light that they provide is super mellow. I mean, again, end of the day, you want to kick back and relax. You fire up a little oil lamp, kick back, and just zone out. It's fantastic.
What's JD say?
He just wanted to know what you're drinking.
Oh.
When did I go live? The alert time was not correct. At 11. I think originally though did I tell you 1 o'clock originally?
It was either 11 or 1, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So last week I went live at 1, and I said I was going to go live again this week. I got everything set up and got everything running, and the extension cord brought in. And as I sat down at the laptop, I go, I think I was supposed to do this at 1, not 11, but 11 had happened, so we're there.
And I was looking at a job.
William Strom, how long did I last for Boost Fest last night? I was maybe an hour, and I was done. I don't know if Russell made it all the way to Alaska's New Year's, but I was toast. I had 4 beers last night, and I was done and went to bed. Watched a movie and fell asleep in the middle of the movie.
9:30.
Let's see here. North Star. Got 4 to 5 feet of snow last week. Wow, and it's almost gone.
Wow.
Those rivers have got to be going crazy.
Where's she at? Or
this is Derek. He's New York.
Oh,
upstate.
Wow.
Man. Must not get good beer up there. That's what I tell him all the time.
Yeah, GD.
I'll give him I'll come over and I'll go, hey, want a beer? And oh yeah, I'll take a beer, and I'm going to hand him one of mine, and he's all, you got any other beer?
No, I like a lot of beers. Trust me on that one.
Your alert said 8 p.m. Wow.
For what?
For my live. That's crazy. 8 p.m. I mean, it doesn't really matter what time zone you're in. Unless you were basically in England, which is 8 hours for me. It shouldn't have said 8. That's crazy.
Never that late.
Sitting by the oil lamp, sipping a Corona, does it get any better?
No, it doesn't.
Vincenza, Happy New Year to you, my friend, from England. Very cool.
Awesome.
Scotty says his alert was right. Okay, cool. Ward, start making your own beer. He doesn't really need to, because
I can't. No,
we're like this. We're like this with the brewery, and I don't think that it would be legal for Ward to make his own beer. I think you can only make 200 gallons a year, and that wouldn't be 1 month.
No,
Ward.
No, it wouldn't be worth it. Just go to the office and sit at my desk and drink beer.
Very cool. Scotty says his alert was right. Cool. Kathy saying Julie Evans Essential said they've gotten 8+ inches of rain this past week east of San Francisco. Rivers flooding, washouts. Wow. Yeah, I'm telling you, I saw a video this morning on Facebook from my friends in that part of California, and they are just getting deluged. It's a deluge right now. It's just wiping them out. California, right? Either they are in middle of drought, or they're in middle of forest fire season, or they're in middle of floods. See, it's crazy. There is no happy medium there lately. That is cool. That is very cool. An ibex in your front yard. Very cool.
There it goes. Whoa.
I felt the place move on that
one. Holy
smokes. All right, now that's two things I'm going to have to watch in the video here. Last week it said 10 p.m. I don't know why. That's crazy. That doesn't make any sense. In Alaska it said 11. Okay, it's 10 minutes to 9 there, Vincenza. Yeah, you're. I think you are. Well, shoot, you're more than 8 hours difference from me then. Oh, you're probably 9.
It's got to be 8 or 9. Yeah.
Yeah, in England. Right there, yeah. Kathy caught that one again. There it goes, Lipstick Lodge. Good to see you. Glad you could make it. that was interesting. The whole thing kind of went wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
At least you get to know what to expect during an earthquake.
Right? Yeah, that was definitely what.
Yeah.
It would. Did that one go that way?
I think it went off this way.
Or is that one the rest of this rough? Okay. I'm gonna take a peek real quick. Ward, chat the folks.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm gonna look at the roof real quick.
I gotta open up another beer.
Oh, you guys hang tight for just a second. I want to see how much of that snow is gone, if it's all gone or not.
Hey, how's it going? I love this place. Sean's a good guy. Trust me on this one. He's done a wonderful job on everything he's done, and I don't know what I couldn't have gotten any better expectations out of him for him just doing what he did, you know. Awesome guy. Trust me on that one. Bring it up. Scotty, bring it up. I don't care. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Lone Wolf. I like your videos.
We wiggled because both sides went.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Both sides went. Wow.
That was crazy.
How do you highlight?
Here, you just click on it.
This one?
I'll swap you back. Yeah, I'll swap your spots.
There you
go. Oh. Yeah, that was nuts. Both sides of the roof. Oh, did you get it down the back of the neck?
Oh, yeah, right down the back of the neck.
That's from the ice and snow on the scaffolding. Okay, where was I? Ibex. Lone Wolf, round 2. Yep. There she blows. It was a big one. Todd! Where are you, man?
Todd,
you could be here
come
too.
on over here.
Is the scaffolding dripping on you? Yeah, it is, man. It is. Happy New Year's to you as well, Todd.
And you can walk, Todd. Come on.
And the roof just shed. Super awesome. Oh, where are we at?
Happy New Year.
Check your shorts, boys. I'm not going to lie. I did get a little nervous because the whole place kind of went. I may need to reevaluate a few things. No, it's super, super sturdy. Super sturdy. Michigan Daffodil asks, how long till I'm living in the cabin? You know, I keep guessing dates. I keep saying I want to be in there by this date, by this date, by this date. And so far, nothing seems to be working. So I'm going to leave that completely blank. I'm not going to rush it, mainly because I don't want to bring stuff into this cabin that's going to get in my way. I'll show you what I'm doing here in a second.
But he already has.
Yeah, I don't want to bring too much into this cabin that's going to get in the way of me working on the cabin. And so maybe January, maybe by the end of this month, I want to be in here, and I want to be, there we go, Ward. I want to be in here, but I want to be in here right, if that makes sense to you. I don't want to worry about saying I jumped the gun and making a mistake by getting in here too fast. Right? I won't have to clear off the snow. And the way it looks right now, we're not going to get a whole lot more in the next couple of weeks. So I'm okay with that too. You should do a drinking game. Every time the snow slides, you have to take a drink. We don't do drinking games.
No, we don't know.
Number one, Sean's too old for that. Number two, it'll end up killing me.
And so am I.
I'm sure that's what it was, is that I'm running both those heaters in here today, and it loosened just enough underneath on the tarp to let them slide the rest of the way down, which was kind of my thought. I wanted that to happen. Right? And I second this. I can't thank this guy enough.
Oh, no worries, man.
Yeah, for everything that he's done as far as every time I've had a question, he's kind of talked me through it so that I can make up my decision myself and learn as I go.
Exactly.
Oh, that sounds yummy. Licorice tea. I love black licorice. Huge fan. Sean is good, except he doesn't carry your beer.
Yeah, and then he buys me beer and drinks it all.
Yeah, that's not my fault.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
I bought him the day that he came over to help with the Tyvek, right? I go, dude, I'm buying you beer this time. So I got him a 12-pack of Corona, brought it over, did the Tyvek. He leaves the Corona in the cabin, and I go, is that safe? And he goes, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. So it was a couple of days later.
It got cold.
We got 31 degrees below zero, and I come out here and I go, oh my God, his beer. So I grabbed it all and I put it in the trailer, and I had it sitting in the sink to thaw out. It didn't bust, which shocked me. And I had it in the sink in the trailer to thaw out. And, sure enough, Sean ran out of beer. So every day I'm all, thanks, Ward. Yeah, thanks, Ward.
You're welcome.
Because I'm good for usually, like last night was celebrating, so I had 4, but generally I'll have 2 or 3 a night, and that's about it. But yeah, it was, didn't last after that. It was gone. And Ward's favorite beer is Corona, right?
Corona, Modelo, Ben's beer.
Oh yeah, Trout.
Yeah.
From Kenai River Brewing Company, Ben's beer. It was a very good test of those rafters. I actually have. So I've got a bunch of bracing in here that I probably haven't showed in any of the videos, just to make sure that things stay where they're supposed to stay. Right? I think so. I think we did good.
When you were outside, I told them.
Oh, nice.
I did.
Yeah, I think we did good, man. I'm pretty satisfied for.
There you go. I told you did a great job.
Yeah, for a guy who's never built anything before in his life, I am a perfect example that if you want to, you can. Because if you watch the video of Sean swinging the hammer on the first beam that I was ever building, it was ridiculous. And then even Ward made the comment when I was nailing off the bracing on the wall after we put the 4th wall up. I go, I got it, and boom, drove a nail in there. Ward stopped and looked at me and he goes, "You learned to swing a hammer." Junior, good to see you, my friend. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Marcus, Happy New Year, my friend. Glad you could make it.
Happy New Year.
Called it Jose Merlot. It was, yeah, I've made wine before. I was a brewer for years at home, but I did all grain batches of beer where I ground my own malt and everything else. And I picked grapes, crushed the grapes, and made wine out of that. The only thing I haven't done is hard alcohol. I have not actually set up a still. I wouldn't mind doing that, but I'm after, if I do something like that, I'm after just a fine whiskey when I'm done, something that's a sipping whiskey. And I don't know if I'll ever get into that here. Definitely, brother. Come up, Scotty. Come on up and we'll go salmon fishing. You could be the pit master up here, dude. That would be awesome.
There you go. Get to meet Scotty?
Oh, I went to school with Scotty.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I've known Scotty forever.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've known Scotty forever. Yeah, we all came from Tualatin, Tuolumne County, California. Thank you very much, Marcus. Greatly appreciated. It does help the channel, folks, when you do click the thumbs up on videos or anything that I post. If I post anything and you like what you saw, take a second and click that thumbs up if you can, because then again, like I said, it suggests more to everybody else out there. YouTube goes, people are liking this. Let's see if anybody else likes it, which is super helpful. No lime in the Corona?
What? Oh, you crazy? You don't put fruit in your beer.
See, exactly. If you want a fruit beer, you drink a fruit beer.
Exactly.
That's like putting orange in a wheat beer.
Ugh.
Ugh. Yuck.
Ugh.
Totally awesome. Here we go again. That was, and that cleared off. I'll post a picture. I'll post a couple of pictures on the community tab after we're done with the live today. So, keep an eye out for that. If you're not subscribed, please do. And then you'll see that kind of stuff. But I'll show you what's left on the roof, because there is a little bit left on the peak. And then how on both sides, the piles of snow on both sides of the house, because there was 1.5 foot easy on this side. and probably
Yeah.
a foot on the other side.
I can't believe it held.
Yeah, that was awesome. Marcus. Yes, by Independence Day would be safe.
Yeah.
I will be living in the cabin by Independence Day. That's crazy, man. That's a lot of weather. That's a lot of weather.
That is actually, I think, good because of all the drought. So, yeah.
Snowmobile, popular in area. They call it snow machine here. They don't call it a snowmobile. And yeah, everybody has one. Everybody does it.
A friend of mine that just down the road, he actually got a trail cut. I don't know how far is Keelak Lake from here?
Upriver?
Upriver.
Probably 20 miles at least.
They cut a trail on the backside of the lake, and they just got it done yesterday.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a long, long way.
Yeah.
Ward said, Dan says, "How you doing, my friend? This is Dan from Pennsylvania."
Hey, Dan. How you doing, buddy?
I think we already got that one. Yeah, he said Corona, Modelo, those kind of beers, and Ben's beer. We call it Ben's beer because the brewer's name is Ben, but it's called Two Timing Trout. And it's a Kenai River Brewing Company. I am. Yeah, I'm going to go with Ridge Metal Roofing.
And Ben had something to do with getting those shirts.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's not a good BSer at all.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Darth Vader, Lord Vader, glad you can make it. Awesome to see you. Happy New Year's to you. Suzanne Sweet Kitchen, Happy New Year's to you as well. Joe Montano, Happy New Year's, my friend.
Happy New Year.
Oh, I'll jump back up to yours in a minute, Dave. I still love Guinness, but I don't drink beer anymore. Guinness, however, is different. Basically, I'm a wino now. Malbec's your favorite. Birthday next month. I drink Malbec too. I like Malbec and I like Zinfandel. And Guinness dark beers are my go-to. I'm a huge dark beer fan.
Yes, you are.
You're a slacker and you're late. Must be New Year's Eve hangover, right? That's why I think I was going to start at 1. I was going to give everybody a chance to get over whatever they did to themselves last night. Scrolling through here. Again, if I miss your comment or question, just ask it again. What about Tecate? Do you drink Tecate?
The what?
Tecate beer?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I'd drink that.
Kathy, thank you very much, and Happy New Year's to you.
California.
Yeah, it is. Happy New Year's to you, Kathy. Thanks as always for your help in moderating, and thanks for your friendship. Much appreciated. Alan saying, my favorite comment from all my videos was a guy who named your hammer Lightning, and John was his name. I've had some comments, and I'll tell you about another one that I read this week, where people have really just slammed me, and I grew up in a family where we would just attack each other, and it was just a ton of fun. And Ward and I play off each other doing stuff like Todd and I, same thing. We'll call each other idiots, we'll call ourselves idiots, but it's all in fun. And when John came out with that comment and said, you ought to name that hammer Lightning because it never strikes the same place twice. that was perfect. But I got another comment. So I wear the kilt a lot of the time, and I haven't been wearing it lately because, building the rafters and working it in the cold and everything else. I said, I'm going to be out here for hours at a time. I'm not going to put that on. But most of the time you'll see me, I'm, in fair weather, and even into the cold, I'll be wearing the kilt quite often. But some guy left a comment the other day, and it said on the video, and I get heckled for it all the time, but it said, nice skirt. Did you have your nails done too? And all I could do was respond with, I keep trying to have my nails done, but they keep chipping, so I've given up. But I get some great comments on the channel, and I love them. Super awesome. See that? Best donuts in the world, made by my family. I guarantee you. We were one with the donut. One with the donut.
Really?
Yeah. I make the best donuts you'll ever eat in your life. That's why I have all that equipment, because I was going to open the donut shop. And now I'm like, man, if I open the donut shop, I got to work nights again?
Yeah.
I don't want to work nights anymore.
Right.
So I'm going to sell it all. Big Bear, Happy New Year to you. Glad you can make it.
Happy New Year.
All I got to say at this point right now is, as a person who was a diehard Vikings fan throughout my entire life until the NFL got me angry, I cannot believe the way that team is winning this year. To come back 33-0.
That was crazy.
And then the next week to win it with a 61-yard field goal. I don't know what they're going to do. I have no idea what they're going to do. Like I said, grew up a diehard Vikings fan, and one of my younger brothers is a diehard Eagles fan. So you imagine right now that the chat's going back and forth between him and I. It's crazy, just crazy. Go Vikes, right? And I understand leaving if that's coming on, man. I definitely understand that. Ward's favorite beer is, in fact, free beer. But I don't know
sometimes.
I don't know that beer is actually free, because usually when somebody gives Ward beer, they expect work in exchange.
And Ward does a lot of free work for beer.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, I definitely jumped into MBF last night. Jeremy and Ashley are just awesome, awesome people. And I didn't even realize we were going to go live. I thought, how come they're not live? Because usually every New Year's they are. But I never got a notification. And I was on Facebook looking at something because Russell at Raspberry Rock was live. And I jumped over to take a break and was looking at Facebook, and they had a post there. And then I went back to YouTube, and there was my notification that they were live. So I jumped in at the end. Awesome, awesome people, man. Wasn't a drinking the last time I was last. Just look forward to trying some of the local stuff there. They've got some great ales. Kenai River Brewing Company is some of the best beers I've ever had in my life. Grace, thank you very much. Good night to you. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful new year.
Good night.
Seal Roof with a good pitch, can't go wrong. Working out well for a camp. I think I've got it's either an 8-12 or a 9-12 pitch. I don't remember right now, but it's 8+. So with a metal roof on
definitely a 9-12.
Yeah, it definitely will be awesome there. Your metal roof. Am I using the metal that has no exposed screws? No, I'm gonna screw through them. Yeah, I'm gonna drill it and screw it. Lipstick Lodge. Am I live every Sunday? You know, I was last year, and then I stopped around May when my signal gets really bad because of all the tourists. But I'll probably continue to do it now going forward for a while. I'll stay live on Sundays, but we'll make it 1 o'clock. From this point forward, we'll start at 1 in the afternoon on my time, Alaska time, which is 2 Pacific, and you guys can do the math that way. And we'll go for an hour every Sunday going forward. Go Pack, go. They need so many things to happen for them to get to the playoffs, man. It's crazy. Dan, glad that's for you.
Oh.
Awesome work. Glad to see you. Hope you had a happy New Year. Very cool.
You
Karen!
too.
Welcome, Karen. Glad you could make it. Awesome to see you. Right? The Lions are crazy this year. So I'm following football more this year than I have in a long time. And this isn't about a football thing, but because we're talking about as far as I'm concerned.
I can't believe how good the Lions have done.
Yeah, they started the season at 1-7, and they are now at like 8-6.
Yeah.
Or 8. I'm sorry,
yeah,
8-7 or 8-8. They have come on fire. They do, Jerry. They like to take a beat in that team. I agree, Junior. They're awesome, awesome people. Okay. Am I going to put ice and water shield all the way up under my... Not all the way up. I will put it around the edges, but I won't. It's too expensive to do the entire roof. If money was not an object, I'd do the entire roof in ice and water shield. But it's way, way pricey, so I'm not going to do that. David, welcome. I don't know if I said hi or not, but any tips for those looking for land in Alaska to do similar building like yours, where to avoid, what's too expensive? Depends on what part of Alaska you're in, but I tell everybody the same thing. Look up MLSalaska.com. And you'll see the multiple listing service for land all throughout the entire state. What's too expensive depends on where you're looking. So if you're looking in the valley, in farmland, it's going to be very, very pricey. If you're looking around Anchorage, it's going to be very, very pricey. If you're looking on the outskirts of Fairbanks, it's very reasonable. Glen Allen is very reasonable, but you don't have any services there either in the outlying areas. The Kenai Peninsula has got some great prices on land. What I tell everybody is look at land based on how much they're selling it per acre. So you'll see a price of, say, an acre of land averaging $35,000. If everybody else is at $35,000 in that area, it's probably the going rate. If it's at $35,000 and everybody else is at $10,000, then either it's gold or it's garbage and probably being sold by a realtor for somebody who doesn't even live here. Just do your due diligence and make sure you see the land before you actually put an offer in on it. Walk the land so that you know that it's firm and you're not buying marsh. If it says good moose habitat, avoid it. because good moose habitat is in fact marsh, and they're being honest, but avoid that kind of land. Awesome, Lipstick Watch, very cool. Jonathan, welcome. It's been fun watching the progress of the house being built from an idea to a man in a kilt who knows nothing of construction. Right? To me, that's the most cool thing in the world.
Yeah.
That has been super, super awesome. My kids, when the sheeting was done on the roof, both of my kids were all, "Holy crap, Dad, you built a cabin."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Holy crap, I built a cabin." It's super awesome. And I've made that comment before, but I've had help, obviously, right? Even though I've done a lot of this stuff by myself, if I didn't have somebody to ask who knew what was going on, I would have been lost multiple times.
And by the way, I only advise him. I help him when he needs it, but other than that, I just advise him to what to do, and he takes it the way he goes, and there you go.
Right. And then, like the rafters with Todd coming, I mean, could I have put the rafters on the roof myself? I might have. Would I have gotten it done? No way. I would not have gotten the rafters on this roof this winter without Todd's help before the big snow hit. There's no way I would have gotten
No
that
way.
done. Yeah. So I've had a little bit of help, standing up walls and that kind of stuff too. But I show that too. I show that whenever anybody's over here helping, they end up on the camera one way or another. I'm not trying to hide any of that.
Todd was awesome.
Yeah, Todd's great.
Yeah.
He was over here yesterday helping me take all the scaffolding down. We were walking around and then we put it all up in here. And I swept all the floors inside the cabin. I mean, there's all the piled up debris and everything that was frozen on the floor it's all melted free. Or, because it was so cold. Yeah, it's all cleaned up.
I'm impressed.
Prepper Chick in Texas, Happy New Year to you as well. Marcus, I just noticed you're in the cabin. Well,
why do you think I showed up?
Yeah, I'm actually in the cabin for this live, and I'll probably be in the cabin for every live going forward now, hopefully. I got to get Ward a kilt. You don't want to see
No.
We don't want to see Ward's legs. We do
that is not going to happen, JD. I don't care.
Granny Lana, Happy New Year to you as well. Glad you could make it today. Confucius say, "Man who build on marsh always has wet socks." Very cool, Jerry.
Yes, he does.
Oh no! You don't want to start out the new year sick. Get well soon. Get well soon, Granny Lana. Everybody needs a Yoda. Ward is Yoda. Lone Wolf, where you at here? Come back to you in a minute, Michigan Daffodil. Great teacher's advice. Cheers to you, Ward, for being a great teacher, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I love your videos. Yeah. I do love his videos.
And he lets me make the mistakes, and then he'll come back and he'll say, or he'll let me, if he's here, he'll let me get close to making the mistake, and all he'll say is, "Are you sure you want to do that? Are you sure you want to do it that way?" Like, when we put the ridge beams up on the top, right? Ward's all, "Okay, well, why did you do that?" "Well, my plan was that way the rafter and the end will sit." And Ward goes, "Why didn't you just take 1.5 inches off the ridge beam or off the ridge poles on the end?" So when I realized they were too short and I rebuilt them, that's what I did. Jackie, glad you could make it. Happy New Year to you. Met me last night on MBF. Very cool. Watched 2 of the videos last night. Very awesome.
Okay,
thank you,
what
Jackie.
is MBF?
Mapleberry Farm.
Mapleberry
Yeah,
Farm.
it's Ashley and Jeremy. So he was medically discharged from the military in Canada, and they built their first off-grid place. And I started following them. I think they had just gotten the cabin built. They like 20,000 subscribers at the time, but they're super nice people. Couple
Nice.
with a daughter named Sam, and they're just fantastic.
Awesome.
Ton of fun. Junior says, "Hey, Ward, make sure when he goes on the roof wearing his kilt, he doesn't freeze." Yeah, so see, that's the other reason.
He's not wearing his kilt when he goes high,
Yeah.
because there is no way I'm even going to be on this job if that happens.
Both him and Todd told me, when you're up on the air like that, you can't wear the kilt when we're going home.
No, that ain't happening.
Yvonne, Happy New Year to you. Right? Here we are. We're in the cabin. And this is,
Woo!
for those that just got here, let me pick this up and we'll, right? So this is, I'm sitting next to the window looking out the front of the cabin, and I definitely need to clean it. And then we're underneath the scaffolding, but there's the loft, right? Insulation is completely 100% done on the walls, and I am now working on insulation for the ceilings, probably starting today. I got to foam some stuff first before I start doing that, but I'll be doing spray foam later on today, and then I'll probably hang the first pieces of insulation on the ceiling today. You've been watching Lone Wolf with that new tent, nice videos. I'm gonna have to check Lone Wolf out. Definitely have to check Lone Wolf out.
He's crazy, but he does a great job.
William, I don't blame you, Ward. Thinking maybe a kill's too cold for me.
Yep.
Junior, we got some people laughing here, talking between each other. Maybe Dave, did I decide on a color for the metal roofing? I'm going to probably go with the same red color that I went with over the chicken coop, and that's going to be another project this year. Is I'm going to build a new chicken coop, and I'm going to build a bigger one that I can actually walk in and clean and have enough room for all the birds in there. So that will be another project that will happen this year. But I'm pretty comfortable in being able to frame that up pretty darn quick now. After framing a cabin, I think framing a new chicken coop would be super.
And you got lightning.
Yeah, and I got lightning, and I know how to use it. Jackie, swimming on the ground. Even when I was doing ladder work on the outside with the finishing the OSB on the walls, and I was on the big ladder wearing the kilt. I'm going to edit that out. You're not going to see that. We're a family channel here. But for $19.99, no. Very cool. Happy New Year, Steve.
Hope you get better.
Oh, different wolf. Okay, it's a different wolf. It's not you. All right.
Oh, my bad.
You need to hang pot and rack for your kitchen with that loft ceiling. Exactly. Yeah. So I will have.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So my ceiling in my kitchen is 7 feet tall, which is, I can reach up and put my hand on it, but that's more than enough room that I need, and that gave me some extra room in the loft up above. I'm really bummed that I'm not using the top camera on this because it actually has a pretty decent cable on it, and I could have spun it around and showed you guys a lot more. I'll get these bugs and stuff done next week. Maybe I might do the live from the loft next week. Maybe I'll climb up there, put the table up there, and do the live from the loft.
You should have done it this week.
No, we just first week in the cabin. Okay. Yeah, first week in the cabin. Word, you're saying you don't want to climb the ladder behind Sean while in a kilt.
No,
no,
absolutely not.
Mike at Not So Remote, Alaska. How you doing, my friend? Awesome. Happy New Year to you. Just watch the last video. You get a view of more of Sean than you really wanted to. Hey, I'm gonna tell you that I did notice that myself, Matt. I'm actually wearing a tan shirt, so you weren't seeing what you thought you saw. I did not have the plumber thing going on. That was a tan shirt hanging down underneath the back. So I thought, do I have plumber thing going on there? I didn't. It was the tan shirt. No OnlyFans for Sean. Although Brother Will said I should set one up for the chickens. Terry, we can hear you, but the sound is so much better on the mic was closer. Okay, let me do this.
There you go.
See if hopefully that's a little bit better and closer. I did actually put the laptop down back further than it was. How's the weather, Karen? It's actually pretty nice today. Probably about 35 outside.
I'm thinking it's balmy.
Yeah, probably 30. Balmy. And inside the cabin now is probably
about 35.
Maybe 38 now.
No, it's like 35.
Is it that cold in here right now? I didn't think it was that cold. I know the water's not freezing. That's always a good thing, but I still have a little bit of steam coming.
Yep.
All right, we'll carry this on for another 10 minutes and probably end it at an hour and a half. So if you guys have any more questions for me, feel free to ask him now. If you have any questions for Ward, he's here. Go ahead and ask him as well, too. Alan says we need more chicken videos. Actually, I've got a short coming up on the chickens. Probably Wednesday, I think, is the short video for the chickens.
Have you taken the fence down yet?
Yeah, fence is down.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, fence is down.
And I wasn't even here.
You weren't here.
I was bummed. Yeah.
So, but I'll probably do a longer video on the chickens here coming up in the next couple of weeks. I need to get some other stuff done here first. And I want to update everybody on how the chickens are doing with the weather. I did have a little problem with the red birds, and I want to update everybody on that. But I also want to update everybody on how much money I actually made off the chickens this year. Because they paid for all of their feed from about May, maybe April, all the way through until maybe the end of November, first week of December.
Even paid for some of my labor.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely there'll be a chicken video coming up soon. They don't do as well as obviously the building videos do, but there's a lot of people that are invested in the chickens, and I like sharing those videos too. I make videos based on what I'm doing. I don't do the one formula of this is all I'm going to get for views if I make them. So that's what I'm doing. I don't do that. Ron White, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Great job on the video, guys. Awesome. Enjoy the content. MBF is a great site. Been watching them for years. Happy New Year's from Anchorage. Awesome. Very cool, Ron. Nice warm weather today, huh? Scotty barbecue chicken video. Every year when the chickens are getting to the point where they're just about to start laying eggs again, I go get a package of chicken and I walk out to the coop and I go, this could be you if you don't start laying eggs soon. And they lay. It's amazing. Eagles, I don't know. I could do a video on eagles, but I'll have to go.
There were 3 yesterday.
Yeah, there were 3 yesterday. Yeah. But I'll have to go to Homer to get a lot of eagles. But that's not out of the mix either. Yep. Yeah, I had chickens. Well, all of my chickens have some frostbite on their combs, but they had it all last year too. And by about May or June, their combs were perfect again. So I'm not really worried about that. Honestly, there's certain breeds that, the tall comb breeds you probably shouldn't raise in Alaska. The shorter comb breeds are much safer because of the frostbite, but they seem to do fine with that as soon as winter was over. So it came right back. Karen loves the chickens. Yes, you do, Karen. Camp Bell off grid. Nice work in the cabin, Sean Ward. Thank you, man. We both, the minute we put this subfloor on, we both sat down and had a beer at the end of that video.
Exactly, yeah. We did.
Yeah, we
put the chairs up.
Lone Wolf. I'm not. They are dual purpose birds, but at this point, I'm not. I've got a couple of more years of laying off of all of them before I even look at using the other purpose of the bird. Missed that one. Here we go. How well are the chickens doing in the extreme cold temperatures? Is it more of a task to try to keep them alive in the winter than it's worth? Yes and no. I'm a first-time chicken person ever, so this is only my second winter with chickens. The problem that we had, and like I said, I'll go into that more in detail with the quick short that's coming out Wednesday, and then with a video on them, is that the redbirds decided that they wanted to molt in winter, and they lost their feathers. Not a smart thing for an animal who depends on those feathers for warmth. But they're actually pretty darn easy to raise, and I don't see any problem with doing them in Alaska. They do it in Fairbanks, although they actually heat the coops up there because it does get way too cold. But they're a hardy bird, man. They're super hardy. Nunya, Texas, how are you doing? Happy New Year's to you. 76 in Texas. Wow. I put a heater in with our chickens, and they still laid. So I could add heat and I could add light, but both of those require electricity, and I don't have that, so we're not doing that. And I like the fact that they get to take a break during the winter. More of a natural cycle for them. So I'm okay with them not laying in the winter. Wow, look at that. Did you know that chicken tastes like chicken? I wonder if everything tastes like chicken.
I thought they tasted like frog legs.
Right? Yeah, because the red chickens were the first ones. Although me and the rooster have some pretty good interactions, and he's one of the black Australorps. We get a little chatty every once in a while, too. Thank you, Nunya. Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. Dan, update Eagles fail to keep up the #1 seed. Go to Cowboys. What? No. I'll have to check that out later.
No way.
I don't know if it's Jan or Jan. I can't tell there. But
Jan.
I'll go with that. Happy New Year's to you as well. Glad you could pop in. Yeah, frozen eggs and water is a problem with the chickens. Ward, here's a serious question for you. Lowe's or Home Depot?
If they had a blue store, I'd probably go there, but we have an orange store, so that's why I go there.
Yeah. We don't have a blue store down here. Junior, do I grow my own vegetables? No, but this year I will.
So he's going to start.
Yeah, I'm putting up. I have grown gardens in the past, quite a few of them. This year I'm putting in a big garden, and that's going to be a lot of focus for me on what I'm doing with the property this year while I'm finishing up. I need to get the metal roof on the cabin. I need to get the siding on the cabin this summer. And then the garden is a huge, huge push for me. Eventually, I'd like to have high tunnels and a greenhouse, and we'll do that down the road too. But this year, it's the outdoor garden. I've grown potatoes on this property.
And you did well.
And I did well. I
Yeah.
mean, they were in the intro. You saw them on that
Yeah.
table. So I want to do more focus on that as well going forward. But eventually, I'd like to have a garden that supplies me with most of my needs here. Kind of like Simple Living Alaska. But, man, if I could get half the garden she gets, I would be a happy, happy camper.
Right.
God, it's nuts. No, but I will on the next version. The next chicken coop will be insulated, Vincenza. That's another reason why I want to build a bigger coop, is so I can actually insulate it. Although it's still got to be vented for the birds, so it doesn't hold, it won't keep it warm. It'll just hold a little more heat in the winter. Jackie wants to know where in Alaska I am. I'm on the Kenai Peninsula, and I'm outside of a town called Soldotna, 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 Alaska. I can write it, I just can't spell it.
Right. You had me stumped there.
Junior, I think you're the one that Jeremy and Ashley always talks about having the epic, epic garden. And if you are, they have said your garden is just incredible. I bow to you, my friend. Alan, I stopped going to the Blue Store when they stopped selling grip right nails and started selling garbage imports. Fold over the second time you hit them. Orange Store sells them now. I don't know. I just go wherever I can go to get the best price and the stuff that I need.
Well, the thing is the hardware he's talking about, you know, you get the screws, they all have different heads on them, and you get them in a box, and then, okay, so you use that screw head, and then the next thing you know, it's like, well, where'd that screw head at, you know?
Okay.
And, yeah, I hate that.
Baby Dave, how's the camper holding up? It's still warm and dry. I really want to see it gone this spring. I want to see somebody get that trailer and maybe do the same exact thing I'm doing. You know, park it on a piece of land and use it till they build their place. Oh, awesome, Junior! You are the one. Very cool. Well, glad you could make it today. If I got any questions, you know I'm going to hit you up, my friend. Definitely. I can't really do a clear roof on my chicken coop because I won't be able to insulate it. I mean, I could, but then I'm going to insulate it, and it's going to be you won't be able to see through it anyway. I have a clear roof on the outhouse, but it doesn't matter this time of year anyway because, you know, there's snow piled on it and you can't see through it. We're just about to the end here, folks. About an hour and a half on this live, and I have to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me today. And definitely thank you for watching the videos, for hitting the thumbs up, for leaving your comments. I love the comments. Even if they're to make fun of me, I have no problem with that whatsoever. And I just wanted to say thank you guys very much because I am humbled by the response to videos that I get here on the channel, and it's super, super awesome to me. I'm going to call it a wrap at this point. Ward?
See you all later.
Happy New Year to each and every one of you. And, man, if you got a dream and you want to chase it, do it because I did. And look, I'm building a cabin. It's awesome. I love it.
Thumbs up to him.
Thank you guys to each and every one of you for showing up today. I just saw somebody else jump in at the end, Alaska Southern Fried. Very cool. Thank you very much. You guys have a great, great day. I'm going to hit it out of here, and I'm going to go back and watch this video so I can hear the roof sliding off, or the snow sliding off my roof. Talk to you guys later. I'm doing the shorts on Monday, Wednesday, and the next full video will be out next Friday. Have a great, great day. Talk to you guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.